If you look at the fact that an American was having his phone call listened to by the government and then leaked to the press, if the shoe was on the other foot here, and this was a Democrat, you can imagine the Democrats in the House and the Senate would be going crazy if this happened to someone within the Obama administration.
The Republican chair of the House Intelligence Committee, that's Devin Nunes, he now says the NSA and the FBI must explain why former National Security Advisor, General Michael Flynn, why his phone conversations were tapped and recorded. Joining me now, the man who won a lawsuit against the NSA for its data collection practices back in 2013. He's Freedom Watch founder and attorney Larry Klayman. Larry, now you say the NSA has been spying on the administration and the Trump transition team too. Is that what's going on?
Liz, that's very obvious. You know, when they say they're tapping the phones of Michael Quinn, General Michael Quinn, because they caught him in a net with the Russians, that frankly is not believable. It's likely that in fact they've been tapping the president's phone, as Judge Napolitano said earlier. They've been tapping everybody in the White House. These people are hostile. You know, the former director of the CIA, notwithstanding the NSA, John Brennan in the CIA, was in a war with President Trump before he was inaugurated. We have a lawsuit, and that lawsuit, as you pointed out, did give rise to two preliminary injunctions that this was a violation of the Constitution of the United States, the Fourth Amendment, to get the telephonic metadata of hundreds of millions of Americans. Lawsuits Klayman versus Obama. You can find it at freedomwatchusa.org. This is part of this lawsuit. So this morning, I went back to the court and I said, we need an emergency hearing here because it now looks like not just Larry Klayman and his clients have been wiretapped by the NSA and CIA, but the president and his national security advisor is part of a pattern and practice, and your order is being violated, Your Honor. That judge is Richard Leon, and hopefully he'll take this up because we are in effect representing General Mike Flynn and others whose constitutional rights have been violated, and if the general needs some legal representation, I offer that right now pro bono, because this is serious, as Judge Napolitano said. You've got a sword of Damocles hanging over the president's head. How can he do business? How can he represent the interests of the American people when he knows that the NSA is likely wiretapping everything he says with foreign leaders and everyone else? It's not only unprecedented, we're back to 1984, George Orwell. This is an outrage beyond imagination and must be stopped.
Obama administration officials here, is that what you're talking about too, sir?
It could be Obama administration officials. It could be anybody at the NSA or whatever. You know, there was an Inspector General's report that's part of our lawsuit that NSA employees were actually getting into the telephone communications of their girlfriends, boyfriends, husbands, and wives. They wanted to see if they were cheating. You can't have this in a civilized society. This is a fascist-type way of running a government, and in fact, these intelligence agencies are more powerful than the president himself. They have the ability to blackmail people in this administration to the point that the American people's interests are going to be subverted, and that's what's so important.
To your point, President Trump at the press conference today with the leader of Israel, he said Michael Flynn is being treated very, very unfairly. He called out the fake media. He said there's blind hatred in the media. He also said the intelligence community, again, he's saying it's doing criminal leaks. That's the president saying that. The president has been saying he wants to shake up the intelligence community, and we have Congressman Nunes also questioning the legality of this surveillance. Let's take a listen. I'd like your reaction.
Any time that an American is picked up on any type of surveillance, that has to immediately stop. It has to be masked, and then you have to go to the courts and get a warrant and listen to an American's phone call. And I'm quite sure that this wasn't done in this case.
Sir, how dangerous is it for the NSA to be spying on the White House and for the White House to be in a fight with this dark state, the intelligence community? How dangerous is it?
It's the most dangerous thing that can happen in any democracy. And Congressman Nunes is absolutely right. And I saw Senator Rand Paul on earlier. Yes, these are crimes. These people should go to prison. They must be prosecuted. Now, in front of the FBI right now is a whistleblower I brought forward by the name of Dennis Montgomery. I got him immunity. He turned over 600 million plus pages of information to the FBI, and he testified under oath. This investigation's been going on for a year and a half. I don't know what the FBI is doing. It's at the highest levels with Director Comey himself. But Montgomery will testify that these agencies have been harvesting the confidential information of the Supreme Court Chief Justice, Roberts, other Chief Justices, 156 judges, Donald Trump himself, and yours truly back in 2007. Now, this is extremely dangerous because it can be used to blackmail people. Now, I'm not scared, and I don't think President Trump is scared, but there are other people who could be blackmailed with this, and we now have an alternative government which is more potentially powerful than the president himself, which is out of control. So, yes, there needs to be heads roll here.
I just want to recap what you just said. You're saying the NSA is wiretapping and harvesting the Supreme Court justices?
That's correct. That's what this whistleblower told the FBI.
Okay.
And he provided documentation, and I was able to obtain, by going through a federal judge and the U.S. Attorney in Washington, D.C., and working with the General Counsel of the FBI, James Baker, immunity for this whistleblower. This has been in front of agents Walter Giardino and William Barnett now for a year and a half, and I urge the FBI to finally do its job and to investigate, because this is something that's not new. Yeah. But it's surfaced right now, and it's highly dangerous.
Larry, that's a bombshell. Larry, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it, sir.